Hi, everyone. So I'm going to talk about GetCare Overview Training Part 1. Okay. So GetCare Training Part 1 is, it's a very general overview training. So we'll provide a more program specific for your program service area, and we'll provide it during Part 2, GetCare Part 2. And this session has been 11 sessions. Basically, we provide same training starting last Monday. So today is actually our last day, and welcome. And all session, like I said, content was repeated. And also, like I said, we are gonna record this session. So I'm gonna post this session to our ADS website, and I'm gonna talk about ADS website a little bit later. Okay. And also this session is intended for everyone from 32 different agencies. And 32 different agencies are the agencies that are affected by this GetCare integration. And so today's session is for the people who will be using GetCare to enter or review data. Okay. GetCare Overview Training Part 2. And it's coming soon after, so I believe you don't have GetCare access yet, but we'll provide your GetCare access soon. And once you have GetCare access, and also we are in the process of finalizing all the specifications and required data. And once we've
ahí está.
Okay. I have a function. I'm gonna mute everybody. Okay, so I'm gonna mute everybody. And if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself. Okay. And also, folks, okay. And so this time, part 2 will be program specific entry session.
Oh, I thought you were sick. I said.
Okay. And this session, the part 2, will start at the end of September or at the beginning of October. And all the sessions will be posted on ADS website. So, and I'm going to show where the what is the ADS website. So I'm going to provide the ADS website address, and also I'm going to show where what kind of information there. Okay. And also, you'll be fully trained before entering data into GetCare. So during this part 2, will be more specific and in-depth training. Okay, and also please continue working with your contract specialist at ADS for any support needs or any questions. Okay, so your contract specialist, or sometimes we call program specialist at ADS, those are the ones that you submit your monthly report or maybe data files to. Okay, so that's training part 2. Okay, and I'm going to talk about learning objectives today. Today's learning objectives. So GetCare login process. Actually, there are 3 steps. So I'm going to show you what the steps are, and I'm going to do step by step. And I'm going to show you how to log into GetCare. And second is searching for a client. So basically, my understanding is most of your clients should be in GetCare. So search for a client is a very important feature. So because any application, right, you don't want to create any duplicate records, right? So like I said, most of your clients should be in GetCare. So try to search for a client, and I'm going to show you step by step how to search for a client in GetCare. And once you try to search for your client and you're pretty sure that the client's file doesn't exist in GetCare, then you can add a new client file. Okay. And also, I'm gonna review sections of the client file. So if you go to GetCare, they're all different, organized as different ribbons, sections of ribbons. So I'm gonna show all the ribbons and what data and what information is there under each different sections, ribbons. Okay. So one of them is identification. So what do you think? Identification, what data will be there under identification? Yeah, so you can unmute yourself or you can write in your in the chat box. Just, identification, right? Just really self-explanatory, right? So clients, maybe name, birth date, or yes, demographic info is actually, thank you, Dana. And demographic info should be under demographics. So identification is more like address, phone number, but under demographics section. So what kind of demographics? So what data will be there under demographics? You can write in the chat box. Okay, let's see. Good, thank you. Date of birth is actually under identification, but very good. Good, Timothy. Language, ethnicity, or race and gender, things like that. Good, thank you, thank you. And under context, it's very self-explanatory, right? So context will be what? Just contact information, right? Maybe emergency or medical context. Very good. And how about assessments? Just any assessments maybe your program required to do, and that's where the section that you can create your assessment. Okay, and service enrollments, and this is a section that will be more provide in-depth training during part 2 when we have provide the training specifically for your program. Okay, and progress notes. And this section is back. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, but they're when you apply units after you provide your service. And this is the section that we can utilize. Okay, so progress notes. And electronic file cabinet, what do you think? When would you use electronic file cabinet section? Would you guess? Yeah, that's great. So when you, okay, somebody's typing right now. Yeah, think about it, electronic file cabinet, right? So it's a file cabinet. So basically you are storing your file. Basically, if you have documents on your computer, and if you want to upload to GetCare, and this is a section that you can utilize. Yes, okay, good, thank you. And also after this PowerPoint presentation, and I'm gonna log into GetCare, and I'm gonna show you how to log into GetCare, and I will use GetCare, but I'll use Staging GetCare. The Staging GetCare and the real GetCare, production GetCare are the identical, same, just only difference is Staging GetCare, I can use clients, basically test clients. I can use fake clients. And GetCare login page. So this is GetCare login page and waclc.org. So either you can go to waclc.org or you can go to www.washingtoncommunitylivingconnections.org. So both addresses, if you click on it, and it will take you to GetCare login page. Okay, so I'm gonna click one of the addresses, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Yeah, so this is a GetCare login page. Okay, so the great indication that you want to make sure this is you are on the GetCare login page, as you can look at the picture, right? So there are couple pictures, right? So the first picture is looks like clients, right? Clients and maybe staff or case manager. And also there's another picture, right? Beautiful picture. I think it's really beautiful. That I think it's mother and daughter. So if you look at this picture, then that is the indication of this is GetCare login page. And also if you go scroll down a little bit here, in the middle, it says login here, right? But this is not the link that you want to click. And this is actually for the public. So for us, as you scroll down, I'm going to keep scrolling down all the way down. See? And if you click here, staff login, and that is for our login link. Okay. So this is the one that you want to click. Again, this is the GetCare website, GetCare login page, right? So waclc.org, and you go and you look at couple pictures, and in the middle, log in here. That's not, don't click on that link, right? That's not for us. That's for the public, and for us, for staff, and you click this one. So when you click here, then it will take you to this. Okay, so this is Secure Access Washington login page. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. So far, so good? Okay, good. And so, like I said, to remember how many steps are there to log in to GetCare? Yes, great. Yeah, so there are 3 steps. Okay. So step 1 is, like I said, right, I just show you the GetCare login page, which is CLC website and waclc.org. And if you go here, right, and you go all the way to the bottom of the screen, right? So there's a middle one, right? Login here, and that's not for us. So don't click on that link. That's for the public. And for us, you have to go all the way to the bottom of the screen and click on staff login. Looks like this, right? So this is what you do. You click staff login. Okay, so far so good. Great.
Yes.
So, and next one is step 2 is when you click on that staff login, right? And you'll be taken to Secure Access Washington. And sometimes I'm going to call SAW login screen. Okay, and it looks like this, right? So I will call it green page, right? Okay. So once you click on, you go to GetCare login page, go all the way to the bottom, and you click staff login, that will take you to Secure Access Washington login screen, right? And maybe some of you might be curious and why we log into GetCare, but taken to when you log in, click on staff login, and you'll be taken to Secure Access Washington. Why is that?
Hello?
Okay, I'm gonna mute everybody. What do you think? Can you think why we go through this Secure Access Washington account? Good. And GetCare is a web-based application. So that means you can log into GetCare anywhere, any computer. So this is a state program, state application, right? So state was a little bit concerned about the security. So they added this feature. So like you go through Secure Access Washington login process. So for security reasons, that's why you go through Secure Access Washington login process. And also, if you have maybe Secure Access Washington SAW account, maybe by using some other programs, that's fine. If you already have SAW username and password. If you have an account, you can use that one. But if you don't, and if you don't have a SAW account, and you'll be creating one when you get your GetCare access. So this is something that you need to create on your own, but it's very simple process. And also we'll provide a guide on how to create your SAW account on your own. So basically you create your own SAW username and password. Again, SAW is Secure Access Washington, and this is a state portal for, so this state portal was added for security reasons. So far, so good. That's step 2. And again, like I said, if you don't have, I believe like if you don't have SAW account, and you can create on your own. Okay. And next, and step 3 is, so once you log into SAW, then you will land on the GetCare login screen. Looks like this. Okay, I will call it blue screen. Okay, so this is actually actual GetCare login screen. Okay, and so you will be enter your GetCare username and password, and then will provide you. So the previous step, right? Step 2, and SAW login credentials. Actually, you create your own. So you create your SAW account. So your username, SAW username, and SAW password is something that you need to create on your own. And like I said, we'll provide how to create one. And also it's very simple and easy. And this one will provide you. So once we collect all the everybody's GetCare access request forms, we're still collecting them, and then we'll submit the access request to the GetCare company in bulk. Okay, so once we do that, and we'll provide you GetCare username and password. Okay, and this process, luckily, only initially. So basically, when you log into GetCare initially, you go through this. So you have to enter GetCare username and password. But there's a function in GetCare. You can link your GetCare account and SAW accounts. So once your accounts are linked, then you don't have to go through this step 3. So you won't see this screen anymore. So later on, when I log into GetCare and show you how to log into GetCare, and since my SAW account and my GetCare accounts are linked, so you won't see the screen when I do that. Okay, so far so good. Okay, great. Next one is search for a client. So like I said, most of your clients should be in GetCare. So searching for a client in GetCare is very important feature. And this is how you do it. So if you look at the screen, and this is GetCare, I would say GetCare main page. And there are different options. You see INA and CLC set and operations. And most of you won't have admin because GetCare is a web-based application. Also, it's a role-based application, meaning my role and your roles are different. So the features or ribbons that you see will be slightly different from mine or you, or even among staff, and based on your roles, and maybe the features that you can see will be slightly different. Okay, so again, so these options, right? And you go to CLC set here. And if you click, you will have drop-down options, and you click full client search. So that's how you do search for a client. Okay, so then if you click full client search, it will take you to this. So this screen will populate, and you see a full client search, right? So in GetCare, you want to search by client's name. but always like GetCare is last name first. So last name and first name. But when you search using your client's name, and we don't want to use a full client's full name. Why is that? So for example, like if the client's last name is Testing, Testing, then we don't want to use full name when you search for a client for the first time. Why is that? Why you want to use fewer letters? Okay, great. Yeah, the reason you want to use fewer letters is once you use fewer letters, then you will have more results, right? More hits. So then you can have more options to choose from. Okay, and sometimes, unfortunately, maybe the spelling maybe that you have might not the right spelling, maybe slightly differently entered in GetCare. So this is the time that you can look for your clients using fewer letters of your clients. So usually we recommend maybe 2 to 4 letters depending on the length of your client's name. Okay, so here, last name, like I said, so test, TES or TST, and then let's say the first name is test, then you use fewer letters, maybe between 2 and 4, depending on the length of your client's name. Okay, so far so good. And sometimes you can use other options, maybe, for example, date of birth. And if you want to do that, don't combine search options together. So the first you try to use your client's name, it doesn't work, then you can clear the name, the name search option, clear that, then you enter date of birth. Then try to click search. Okay. And if you click search, then you see, okay, you see this gray bar, right? And the gray bar is under this gray bar, and you will see all the results. Okay, so results of your search. So if you look at this, there's a GetCare ID number, right? So GetCare ID number is like unique number, and every client in GetCare will have this GetCare ID number, unique GetCare ID number generated by GetCare. Okay, and the name, last name, and first name here, and social security number. If the social security number was entered into GetCare, and that will show last 4 digits here, and date of birth, and gender, and region. So I'm going to talk about a little bit of region. So there are different regions, right? And we are King County. And in GetCare, the way they describe regions is PSA. So there are 13 PSAs. So basically from PSA 1 to PSA 13. Okay, so can you guess our number? What is our PSA number? Can you guess? So you can see PSA 5 is Pierce County, and King County is? Good. Thank you, Dana. Thank you. Yeah, so it's PSA 4. So we are PSA 4. So in GetCare, our region is PSA 4. Okay. And so you did, like I said, using client's last name and first name, using fewer letters of the client's name. You click search and you will have these results, right? And still you can find your clients. You go, or maybe you find your clients, but there's another option at the bottom. If you see this, view excluded clients, then you need to click here as well. And also in GetCare, like I said, it's like all ribbon based. So like if you see at the end of the ribbon, you see this triangle, and at the triangle is pointing sideways to the left. That means it's closed. And the triangle is pointing down. That means it's open. Okay. And also at the end of your search results, and if you see this view excluded clients, then you need to make sure that you click. So make sure that clients that you're looking for exist here or not. So, okay. So view excluded clients, what is this? Basically in GetCare, there's a function that make your client not viewable. Not viewable meaning when you do a search and initially it wouldn't show for your initial search. So in GetCare, there's no way if the client's file exists and then you can delete them. But this is kind of similar to inactivate your client. So just in case the client passed away or moved out of the state, and maybe you can make your client not viewable. So sometimes maybe the client that you're looking for can be in this not viewable list. Okay. The option is called view excluded clients. But not every search have this option. But if you try to search for a client and if you see this option, then you want to make sure that you click here. Okay. So far, so good. So you did search for your client and also you click on, you saw this option, view excluded clients. So you did that and still you cannot find a client. Then you can safely create a client file. So you click add new client, add new record. Okay, so click here. Then you will have this overlay, add new client. So, once the add new client overlay comes up, then you can type in the information that you have for the client. Okay, so you have to add a first name and last name. So it's required. So you have to have at least client's first name and last name, and also there are 4 different combinations. So, for example, 4 different clients. 4 different criteria. So 4 different combinations. Okay, good. So first combination will be, like I said, a last name and first name you have to have. And so DOB, date of birth, and gender. So if you look at this, right, if you type in your client's last name and here, right, first name and gender and birthday, then you can create a new client file. So basically this one is like minimum data required in order to create a client file. Okay, new client file. Okay, so this is one option, one combination. Another combination is, let's say you don't know the date of birth or you don't know the gender of the client, of your client, but you know your client's last name, first name, and social security number. Okay, then you can here, so name section here, right? Social security number. Okay, and if you try to save, the system will ask like, hey, date of birth is required, but we don't know the date of birth, right? So then you see this little option here, no DBO, right? DOB, no date of birth. And you click this box, then you'll be able to create a client file. Or another combination is last name, first name, and let's say this time you know only a phone number of your client, then you enter your client's phone number. Then if you try to save here, then the system will ask, oh, date of birth and social security number is required. We don't know. How would you do that? You see here, right? No date of birth. Again, you click here. And also under social security number section, right? You see this little option, no social security provided. If that's the case, you can click here. Okay, that's a way that you create a client file when you have only client's last name, first name, and phone number. Okay. Another combination is, let's say this time you have client's last name, and first name and just email, right? Then you enter your email, the client's email address. And if you click save, then system will ask again, date of birth, social security number required. Then this time you can just click no DOB, right? No date of birth, click here, and no social security number provided, you click here. And that's how you create a client new file. So these are different combinations. I would say minimum data required in order to create a new client file. Okay, so far so good? Okay, good. And so unit recording. And so basically unit recording is like, this one we'll focusing on during part 2. So you create your service enrollment and you apply units for that service that you provide. And there are 2 options, 2 ways. First way is one of the ribbons, right? In GetCare, like I said, they're all organized in different sections, right? And one of the sections is progress notes. So you can utilize this progress notes section for applying units. And another option is use service recording monthly reports. Okay, so this is another section that you can utilize. And I'm going to show you how to do that just briefly, where things are. So for unit recording, and if you utilize progress notes, it's more like individual level. And you click on progress notes section, then you click add new note. Again, so in GetCare, looks like this. And you see this arrow, right? So arrow down, that means it's open. Okay. And arrow pointing sideways to the left, that means it's closed. And so you click progress notes and add new note. So this is one way to apply units. And like I said, all the details and how to do this step-by-step in-depth training will be provided at part 2. GetCare training part 2. And another way is using service recording and the click operations and click service recording. Okay, I'm sorry, it says reporting, but this is should be service recording. Okay. And there's a INA section and CLC section. And if you go to operations here, so if you click operations, you will have these drop-down options. And you go here, service recording. Then this is another way to apply units. Okay, so this is like basically using service recording, not the client level. Okay, so if you maybe provide aggregate maybe meals and things like that. And maybe this is the section maybe you can kind of utilize to in terms of applying units. Okay, so far so good. Okay. So so now sections of client file. And so when you log into GetCare and if you click one of your clients, then it looks like this. Okay. So they're all different ribbons, like I said, right? And if you here, so I'm going to show you identification section. Okay, identification ribbon and demographics, contacts, and assessments, service enrollment, and this Macintosh SOA or MTD. They are not our programs, so I'm going to skip. And also, you won't have these ribbons anyways. Then progress notes and electronic file cabinet. And like I said, GetCare is a web-based application. Also, it's a role-based application, right? So you may not see all the ribbons on this screenshot. Okay. And before I open GetCare, and I'm gonna show you the ADS website. Okay, so the address is www.agingkingcounty.org and GetCare. So this one is ADS website solely designated to GetCare implementation. So I'm gonna go in shortly here. Okay, so if you go here, and I'm gonna share this web address in the chat box. You can go in there as well. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that's the web address. So you can, okay, good, thank you. And when you go in, so if you open it, so you see GetCare implementation, right? So last month we provided GetCare info session, right? So there were a lot of great questions. So it was posted here, all the questions and answers, and also like a training materials. So section, so right now we are training part 1, right? So all the training sessions are posted here, and also part 2, and then we'll provide information about your training here too, training under training materials, and also our the PowerPoint, today's PowerPoint will be posted here as well. And also, like if you look at it here, so this is like GetCare access request form, and if you haven't submitted yet, so please submit your GetCare access request form to your specialist, your program specialist at ADS. Okay, so we're still collecting it. And also there are some kind of helpful links. So if you look at GetCare Help Library, if you click here, and then it will take you to GetCare login page as well. Okay. So, so basically this link is a direct link. And also I share that in the chat box. Okay, so you can copy it. So this site is intended as a one-stop repository of information for providers related to the GetCare transition, and will be kept updated throughout the upcoming months. So for example, we'll post GetCare training recording, today's training recording, and also GetCare training PowerPoint, and also training dates and things like that. Okay, so that's GetCare. GetCare implementation, direct link on ADS website, okay? So let's open GetCare. Yes, are you ready to open the GetCare? Yes, okay. Before we do that, I just want to remind you, refresh your memory, right? So how many steps are there in order to log into GetCare? Very good, thank you. 3 steps, okay? So step 1 is, what was the step 1? You go to CLC website, right? And that's waclc.org. Good. And what do? You go all the way to the bottom, right? And it says staff login. Very good. That's step 1. Okay, what is step 2? So once you do that, once you click staff login, then you'll be taken to Secure Access Washington, right? And this is state portal. Like I said, for security reasons, the state added this Secure Access Washington login process, right? So then if you go here, and then you will enter your SAW username and password. And this is something that you'll, if you don't have your SAW account yet, then you'll be creating one after you get GetCare access, right? GetCare username and password. And step 3 is, yes, you're right. So once you log into SAW, then you will land on this GetCare login screen, right? So I will call it blue screen. and you will enter your GetCare username and password, and they'll be provided after GetCare access granted. Okay, yeah, so this is something that username and password will be granted, provided for you. But like I said, this is only initially, right? So when you log into GetCare initially, then you are required to enter your GetCare username and password. Once you log into GetCare, and there's a, like I said, there's a feature, saw count, and your saw count and your GetCare account can be linked, right? So if it's linked, then you won't see this screen anymore. So when I show you how to log into GetCare, and you won't see this screen. Okay, so far so good? Great. Okay, so I'm gonna log into GetCare. So I'm gonna go to GetCare login page first. Okay, so if you go here, right? So the great indication is the pictures, right? So this is GetCare login page, right? So how about this? You go scroll down, you see in the middle, login here. So yes, good. Don't click here, right? So this is not for us. This is for the public. So you go all the way down, right? All the way down here, you see staff login, right? This is our link to log into GetCare, right? So you click here, then it will take you to Secure Access Washington, right? State portal. Then you enter, type in your own username, SAW username, and password. And you click submit. Then what happens is I will take you to this multi-factor authentication. So you can choose a method. So either this is how you arrange it when you create your SAW account. So I added my email address and also my work cell phone number. So you can have an option, right? You can use your email, or you can utilize your maybe work cell phone to retrieve the 6-digit passcode. Okay, so I'm gonna use, usually I use email, but you can use phone option as well. So depends on your, it's up to you, up to your preference, up to you. Okay, so then usually you see like this first 4 digits will be always there. So they already provide here. So then you can, all you need to do is retrieve the 6-digit passcode. Okay. So usually it happens really quickly. So I already got the passcode, and looks like this. Okay, so if you see here. Here. Okay. So if you look at here, right? So the first 4 digits here, but it's already provided. So all we need is this last 6 digit, and we copy and paste here. Okay, and you click submit. So can you see my screen right now, everybody? Okay, good. Can you see my screen, right? Okay. So then we'll ask you, remember device. So maybe you can do initially one time. So yes, remember my device. But once you do that, you can kind of bypass this page. So you click submit again. Yes, finally, this is GetCare. Very good. Okay, so you will have this kind of notices, and usually I click X to close that little notification. So like you see this like alerts colorful, right? Alerts, notices, and to-dos. And my alerts will be different from yours because our roles are different, right? Okay, and then you see this like this different sections, right? So do you remember in order to search for a client, which section you click? Yes, good. Yeah, so client, CLC said full client search. Very good. Okay, so before I do that, and I'm going to introduce the client that we are looking for. Okay, are you ready? Okay. So can you look at this picture? So we have this beautiful lady. She's one of the baby boomers. And the client's name is, the last name is Testing. Okay. And the first name is Testist. So okay, we're gonna search for this client. Okay. And gender is female. And date of birth is September 2nd, today. So Testist's birthday is today. Happy birthday to you. Okay, good. So Testist's birthday is September 2nd, 1950. And social security number not provided, so we don't know. And region is, do you remember our region? King County region in GetCare is PSA 4. Very good.
4.
Yeah, PSA 4. Thank you. Very good. And just in case if you are interested in what PSA stand for, and PSA stand for planning and service area, but you don't have to remember that. So anyways, PSA is planning and service area, and all you need to remember is King County, our region is PSA 4 in GetCare. Okay, so we're going to search for Testist, last name Testing, and first name Testist. Okay. Okay. Okay, so in order to search for a client, again, what do? You go to CLCZ here, right? And you will have drop-down option. So you click full client search. Very good. Okay. So what was the last name we were looking for? Testing, right? So how many letters would you use to search for a client?
3.
3, very good. Yeah. So yes, okay. And how about first name? Testist.
3 letter also.
Okay, thank you. That's good. So why we use why we don't use full name of your client? Why is that?
It could be too many with the same last name.
Yeah, and also by doing that, you will have more results. Okay, so more results to see, try to find your client. Okay, yeah, thank you. So we use TS, and I'm going to click search here. See, under this bar, right, there are a lot of different results here. So again, like I said, GetCare ID is here, and GetCare ID is generated by GetCare company. So, and last name and first name, social security number, and date of birth, and gender, and region. Okay, so our region is PSA 4.
PSA 4.
Yes, yeah, thank you. Yes, PSA 4. And also, that, like I said, GetCare is a role-based application. So if the client is not from our region, for example, like the second one, right, test, and this client is from PSA 5, I cannot click here. And I click, it doesn't work. So basically, all we see is this information for this client because that client is not from our region. Okay. And also from our region, if you see the name underneath the name, there's a line. It's a hyperlink there. Okay. So I'm gonna go. Did you find testing and Testist? So if you find the client, and please raise your hand or let me know. So I'm gonna keep scrolling down. You see testing, Testist. Okay. I am going to keep scrolling. I'm scrolling down. Did you find testing and Testist?
There's one in the very bottom.
Yes, thank you. Yes, the bottom and testing and Testist. So this is the client that we're looking for? What do you think?
No.
How
No.
come? How do
it's
you know?
not. It's not the birthday.
Yeah, the
And
birthday.
it's not female.
Yes, very good. Very good. Thank you. So gender, right? So the client that we're looking for is female. And also the client's birthday is today, right? September 1st. So it's
Mm.
not the right client. Then it'll be safe to create a
Se
new client
congeló.
using add new record.
Sí.
What do you think? Yeah, I think about it.
I
So
have a partner with volume.
yeah, we couldn't find the
Check
client,
your
right?
internet. Oh
And
my
if you
God.
look at here,
Se
right?
está congelando.
So, okay. You are
Um,
good. Okay. So look at this, right? The testing and test. And this is not the right client that we're looking for. And then what do? Either you can create a client, but if you see here, right? View excluded clients, right? So we make sure that the client that we're looking for is in the not viewable list, okay? So like I said, the triangle pointing sideways, that means it's closed. So I'm just gonna click, but you can click anywhere, okay? It doesn't have to go here, but you can click anywhere. So you go scroll down and under this view excluded clients, you'll see client list here. So do you find testing and test? Did you find the client? Testing and test? Yeah, see all the way down. Is it kind of hard to see, you guys? The font is all good? Okay. So here, testing and test. So this is the client. What do you think of the date? The birth date is right? And how about the gender? Yes, right. So this is the client that we're looking for. Okay. So then if you click here, we'll take you to this. Yes. So under identification, you will see the client's information, right? So name, date of birth, and also you see address and phone number and email address and things like that, right? And then also underneath, they're all different ribbons, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's how you search for a client. Okay. And then now I'm gonna introduce another client this time. So I'm gonna talk about, maybe show you how to add a client. So I'm gonna introduce another client here. Okay. Is anybody volunteer? Maybe read the client's kind of profile. Maybe Morgan, if you don't mind, maybe you wanna read?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Their last name is Tester, first name Wonderful, is male, born in 1951 with no social security number and in PSA4 region.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So now it's another client. Yeah, so we want to search for this client, and this client's first name is Wonderful, and last name is Tester, and the date of birth is September 2nd, 1951. Yes, another birthday, today's birthday, right? Happy birthday to you, Wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna try to search for this client, okay? Okay, so you are here, so you are done with this testing and test this one client, and we want search for this time Tester, last name Tester, and first name Wonderful. How would you do that? So you are here, and you try to find another client. How do you do it? Yeah, so GetHere is a web-based application. So any web application, we don't want to use go back arrow function, okay? So wherever you are, and if you want to look for another client, this is what you do. It doesn't matter where you are. and you're just gonna go to CLC set and click full client search. Okay. Okay, so far so good. And this time you wanna, so it's the last name is Tester, right? So how many letters would you use? Good. Okay, 3 letters. Fine. Okay, so then TS, right? And how about the first name? The first name is Wonderful, right? So how many letters would you use? Good. Yeah, 3 or 4. Okay, good. So I'm gonna do maybe 3 and click search here, right? Okay, I'm gonna click search. Oh, okay, so we have some results, right? And can you take a look at the names? Did you find Tester Wonderful? Kind of similar names, right? And it's not there, right? Tester Wonderful, we cannot find Tester Wonderful. Or look at the date of birth, right? So the Wonderful's date of birth is today, but date of birth doesn't work, right? Then what would you do? So we cannot find the client, or yeah, very good, thank you. So you want to make sure that view excluded clients, right? So whether the client is there or not. Okay, so I'm gonna click, like I said, you can click anywhere. So I'm gonna click here. Oh, Tester Wonderful is here. Okay, so is this the right client that we're looking for? Yes, thank you. So, oh, Tester Wonderful's birthday is today in 1951, but it's totally different. And also the Wonderful, right? The client that we're looking for is male, but it says female. So it's not the right client. Okay, so then, oh, okay. So then this is the good time that, okay, so then this client doesn't exist. And sometimes you can maybe utilize maybe date of birth. So you can get rid of you clear the name section, and then you can just use date of birth and try to find a client. Okay. So then still you cannot find the client. So you're pretty sure that client's file doesn't exist in GetCare, then you can create a new record. So I'm going to click here. Okay, so if you do that, so you see this overlay and has last name and first name, right? So it's like whatever you enter during the search option, and then it'll transfer exactly the way it is. So I use this kind of small letters, so then it shows like as a small letter. But the search, when you use capital letter or a small letter, the results are the same. So basically, the GetCare search options are not case sensitive. Okay, so you can use capital letters or small letters, and you will have the exactly same results. Okay, so I'm going to change the first name to capital letter here. So it's T Tester, right? And then first name is what? What was the first name? Very good, thank you. Wonderful. Okay, so I just gonna ask myself and answer myself. Okay, thank you. And gender was, yes, good, female. And birthday is today's birthday, right? Today, October 2nd, and 1951. Okay, so this is how to save your client. Okay, but let's say you don't know the gender. So you don't know the gender, or you don't know the birth date, and you know social security number. Okay, then I'm gonna enter this client's social security number. Okay, and if you try to save, and the system says like, oh, an error has occurred, date of birth is required, but we don't know the date of birth. We don't have the date of birth. What do? What would you do? Yes, that's good. So see, you can click this no date of birth. So you can click here, then you can create your client. Okay, very good. Okay, let's say you don't know the social security number, but you know the phone number. Okay, so then you have to just do phone number here. And that's a phone number here. And if you try to save, same thing, an error has occurred, and it says social security number to be filled out fully, or no social security number provided has to be selected, or
Okay.
date of birth is required. Okay, then you want to do here, no date of birth here, and no social security number provided, then you can save a client. Okay, and another option is, say, you don't know the you don't know the phone number, and this time you know the email address, right? So wonderful. So then if you try to save, then system will says again, an error has occurred. So no social number or date of birth required. So then you can do, okay, no date of birth here, no social security number. And this is how you create your new client. Okay, so minimal data required in GetCare in order to create a new client file as pretty much last name and first name, and gender and birth date. Or if you have only social security number, and you can have click this date of birth option, no date of birth option, or you can use only a phone number or email address. You can create a client file. Okay. So far, so good. Okay, thank you. Okay, and I'm gonna go over all the ribbons now, and I'm gonna introduce another client, third client. Are you excited? Yes. Okay. Okay, so next one is, okay, so who wants to introduce this client? You can just read the profile. Any volunteer? Okay, so I'll introduce myself. So this client, and look at this picture, he's strong man, okay? So his last name is Clymer, and first name is Rock, and gender is male, and Rock Clymer's date of birth is September 2nd, 1955. Yes, another today's birthday. Happy birthday to you, Rock. Okay, and social security number not provided, so we don't know. And region is, again, PSA 4, right? So our region is PSA 4. Good. Okay, so let's go to GetCare. Okay, so we were here, and so now we want to try to find Clymer, last name Clymer, and first name is Rock. Okay, so what would you do? So you can clear the name section here, right? And then you can enter new search, or you can go to, again, CLC set and just kind of full client search. So either way is fine. So you go here and you click Clymer. Okay, so I will use maybe CLIM Clymer, right? So maybe two, like I said, 2 letters, 3 letters, or 4 letters usually. Okay, and Rock Clymer. So I just kind of say maybe row. Okay, let's click search. Okay, so have a one. We have a one client here, right? So if you have less letter, right? Less letters, fewer letters, and this is what happens. If you click here, see, you have more search, more results, right? So if you have fewer letters, then you will have more results, okay? So this one, so if you do this, yes, then Rock Clymer here, right? Okay, so let's look at the Clymer. So what do you think? This is the right address, right date of birth? Yes. And gender? Yes. Okay, so this is the right Clymer, client. And also, do you see this view excluded clients? Oh, it doesn't have it. So sometimes, like I said, not every search will have not view excluded client. Okay, so sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. So every time you see the option, you should click. But otherwise, if you don't see it, that's fine. Okay, that means the client last name, CLIM, and first name has like RO doesn't exist in the not viewable list. That's what it is. Okay, so we are pretty sure that this is the right client. Then you click here and take you to this. Okay, this the client file section, right? So under identification, right? So we this kind of information, right? It's kind of self-explanatory, right? So date of birth, name, right? And then can you find the GetCare ID number? Can you find it? Where is GetCare ID number for this client? Can you locate it? Can you find it? Yes, very good. Thank you. So under this client's name, right? You see here, GetCare ID number here, right? So this is the GetCare ID number here. Okay, and so like if you see here address, right, and phone number and email address, right? So if you look at this, there are two addresses, right? Address 2 and address 1, and you see validate from 2, but you see the first one, the address 1, you see this crazy number, right? 1231,999. What does that mean? You see here phone number 2, right? 1231,999. You see this kind of crazy number. What do you think? Okay, good. So this means it's ongoing, current. So if I look at this address 2 here, so basically this client was living at this address, right? Happy Avenue Northwest from September 30th last year till this year, May, right? May 25th. And the client moved to a second address. So moved to a different address. So this is his current address, right? So now the client lives at Happy Street, lives on Happy Street. And since May 26, 2021, and the client still lives at this address. That's what that means. Okay? So if you look at the phone number, and this is client's current phone number. Okay, so that's the 1231,999 means in GetCare. So sometimes you will see this number, and that means it's current ongoing. So far, so good. Very good. And if you look at this, so like I said, any information you can update and change, but date of birth and like name or social security number, you cannot update it directly. So there's a way that you can update it. And if you look at this section, there's a one button that you can click. What would that be? You see this section, there's a little hyperlink that you can click.
Mhm.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
What is it?
There.
You see this here, little edit button here? Sorry, it might be a little bit too small, so I'm just gonna make it bigger. You see this edit button here, right?
Yes.
You click edit, and then you will have this overlay. So then this is how you update your client's information, especially name and date of birth, and maybe social security number information. That's how you update this section, only this section. Otherwise, you can enter any information, update anything directly.
Okay.
Because clients, maybe name and date of birth and things like that is kind of sensitive, right? So we, the GetCare added this little feature. So if you want to update this information, this important information, then they have to go one more step to click by clicking edit button. Okay. So far, so good.
Mm.
And so that is, so we went through the identification section. Okay, so do you like this better or make it a little bit smaller?
Yes.
Okay, maybe this, okay. So this is okay. Can you see well? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. Yes, okay. Oh, Timothy answered edit. Thank you. Thank you. So we're gonna go down here. So if you see demographics, right? What data will be there? So yes, right. Like you said, here maybe disability type or ethnicity, race, language, and income. And has like rural, urban, sex. So there are a lot of data here. And basically we can talk about this, what is required. And I think your data, required data won't change much, pretty much. Yeah, so whatever your program required, and then you can utilize this section to complete the demographics information. So I believe you're not using all of these. So that's demographics. And how about context? Like I said, context is very self-explanatory, right? So a medical contact and any contact. And if you want, you can add here. So you see this little button. So if you click add new contact, then you will have this overlay. So like you can write it, maybe rock climbers, daughter's name is Mountain. So, and you see a type of contact. It has all kinds of different information, right? Different type. So maybe lives with or emergency or things like that. So you can kind of emergency contact right here. So, and so then you can save here. So, okay. So I'm gonna cancel. So that's how you add new contact. And I have a question, but maybe I can address that question a little bit later. Hope that's okay. And this orange section, so if your program has like Get Care, maybe it has a like caregiver and care receiver, so then this is the section you can utilize in this orange box. That's under contacts. Okay. And how about assessments? Okay, so that this is the section that you can utilize if your program required do some assessments. So if you click here and always like at the bottom, you will see existing assessments. So there'll be all existing assessments. And if you want create a new assessment, and you click here, add new assessment, right? This button, so you click add new assessment button, and you can select form. So whatever assessments you want to do, you can select here and frequency and assessment date, and then you click save, and that's how you create a new assessment. And like I said, this is like assessment existing, showing existing assessments here. And so next one is service enrollment. So if you click service enrollment, again, any existing service enrollments will be here at the bottom. And if you want to create new service enrollments, and this is how you do it. Add new enrollment. You click here. Then you will have this overlay, right? So then you have a general section, enrollment section, and authorization section. And this will be, you'll be trained. So we'll provide in-depth training, how to utilize enrollment services section during our part 2 Get Care training. And so that's service enrollments. And these ribbons are not relevant to you. So here, so progress notes. So progress notes is like I said, there are 2 ways, right, to apply units of service that you provide. And progress notes is like client level. You can apply units. So you utilize progress notes, and here you add new note, right? click here, you will have the section. This is like a free section. Enter as much as free text, case notes for your client. And this section is how to apply units. So the section you that's progress notes. And also, like I said, so see if you see this like triangle, right, pointing to the left, then it's closed, and down is open. So if you want, if you want to close every time you see some open some sections, then you can click anywhere you close. But you know, if you, some people just kind of, it doesn't matter, just kind of leave as it is and kind of keep going different sections, that's fine too. It depends on your preference. Okay, so we did progress notes, and here, right, electronic file cabinet. And what do you think? Yes, this is like how store your client maybe file or document on your computer. So if you want to upload any related or required document, then this is how you, this is a section that are how you utilize. Okay, so there's a little button here, right? So browse, if you click browse, then this section, if you click add, and it will take you to your computer. So then you can select whatever document that you want. So and also, as you can tell, the GetCare is organized by any section, always existing, maybe existing file, or for service enrollments, existing service enrollments. For assessments, existing assessments always at the bottom. So that's how we arrange it. So each section, that relevant information, already existing relevant information, will be at the bottom. Okay, so that is the our GetCare overview training. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the okay, so I'm gonna stop the recording. Okay.